I was gonna hold this throughout the whole video because I didn't know what to do with my hands. But it's not plugged into anything, so what's the point? Hello, everyone. Welcome to this little segment I've been wanting to try out. I'm calling it "Swept Away." It's essentially me just talking about some Phish shows that, for some reason or another, have been kind of swept under the rug or just aren't talked about nearly enough as they deserve. You'll have to forgive me if this isn't the most concise or organized video you've ever seen. This is kind of just me riffing, giving my raw opinions on these shows. That's about all the intro we need, because this hair is not getting any shorter, so I feel like we should just start. The show we have today is, of course, a good one. March 8th, 1991, in the middle of their winter-spring tour. It is in College Station Theater, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
It's fucking cold! Alabama! Yes! Never miss an Alabama show. Never!
For those of you who don't know, for a state as Alabama, Phish sure does have a record of playing really good shows there. Whether it be, Coca-Cola Amphitheater from last year, or even way back, Oak Mountain Amphitheater back in the early 2010s, even then, great Alabama shows, always. Then, of course, there's the iconic show from '94 when they played with Dave Matthews at Oak Mountain. I mean, that's also a great show. This is one of the only 4 times that they've played in Tuscaloosa. Once in 1990, twice in '91, and then once in 2015 for God knows what reason. All right, let's actually start talking about the show now. Here's the set list. It's beautiful, very tightly knit, perfect for the era. Let's just dive right into it. As you probably noticed, it's only one set. It's the only set that's available. It's the only set that's circulated. Phish.net doesn't know whether or not it was a 2-set or 1-set show. But either way, it's the only set we get. I mean, it's still good, so I don't have a problem with it. You can imagine that there's nothing too special about the Golgi. It's just a very good opener. A great way to start the set with good energy. Just very standard version. But then right after that, we have one of my personal favorites. You Enjoy Myself. Holy shit, this one is it's crazy. It's got some great jamming, great mic work. It's very tense. The build up is very satisfying. Trey has some very good dissonant moments, and the vocal jam is honestly one of my favorites. It's goddamn weird and very fun to listen to. It's just a lot of fun. I really like this jam, and you should definitely check it out. Up next, we have Fluffhead into Stash. Fluffhead is very well played. There aren't many Fluffheads out there that I've disliked per se. I think they've all been pretty solid, but this one is even more solid. Great peak, just overall good work. And then they go into Stash, which is one of the best earlier versions, like pre-92. It was still kind of a new song, and so this is one of the first versions where they really start, exploring the space, trying out new things, just snowballing with the jam. And, I mentioned earlier Trey was very dissonant in You Enjoy Myself, but he's very dissonant here. Some, almost spooky work from Trey. Very spooky guitar work. But, that being said, it's great tension, great release. One of the best pre-92 stashes out there. Good stuff. Okipa Ceremony into Susie. This one is great for the middle of the set. Okipa is just a lot of fun. It's paired with Susie a lot. Most times it's paired with Susie, and this is a very good Susie. Lots of energy here. Fishman's fills are very fun. And Trey has some. Trey teases a couple of songs in Susie. He teases Stairway to Heaven and Auld Lang Syne. The Auld Lang Syne tease is a little bit more obvious. I had a little trouble finding the Stairway to Heaven tease, but once I found it, it was pretty cool. I really like the Susie. It's not a song that it's not a song that I choose a lot to listen to, but this one is really great, especially for the middle of the set. And then we have kind of another newish song to their roster, Split Open and Melt. I don't have much to say about this one other than it's just kind of good. It's not awesome. It's not the best Split Open and Melt I've heard, especially not even from the era. But it does have good work. The build-up and tension is really good. And again, I know I keep reiterating this, but Trey's work is very dissonant. Very just edgy, you know. Just that's the best way I can put it. But I mean, it's good. It's not a bad Split One Male. I just don't have much to say about it. You know, it's good. And then right after it, we have the Squirming Coil, which kind of acts as like a midway stop for the set. You know, a break. Where the outro is very drawn out and it's very melodic. It's kind of a full band outro for a while until Page takes over with his solo. It's very pretty, just great version. I love it when it's in the middle of the set. But for me, it's definitely a better closer, if anything. But I think right here, it's a pretty good placement. Then we get to the real meat and potatoes of the set. It's My Sweet One into Tweezer, into Dave's Energy Guide, back into Tweezer. Holy shit. This is what really made me want to listen to this show. It's, of course, you probably know that it's they're playing with Aquarium Rescue Unit, Jimmy Herring, Oteil Burbridge, and Jeff Sipe, pretty sure his name is. And this one is just great. It's so good. It gets really hectic once it gets to Dave's Energy Guide. You know, just everyone's playing just crazy shit, just all kind of piling on top of each other. It's very hectic, and one of the better earlier versions of Tweezer. It's so good, really good. It's really cool to hear the two basses. It's difficult to tell the difference between Mike's playing and Oteil's, but it's really fun. I liked it a lot, and it's definitely the highlight of the show. Just wow, it's really good. You should really listen to it. It's not for the faint of heart. It gets pretty heavy. But the ending kind of ties it all together. So, yeah. It goes into a Big Black Furry Creature from Mars, but the tape cuts it, which is unfortunate. But I can imagine that it's a great choice for a closer, and I can imagine it was well played, you know, all that. But unfortunately, we don't get much of it. But I mean, yeah, that's about it. Very just well-rounded show. You know, great for the era, well defining for the era, and especially, you know, this was a period of time where they were doing a lot of shorter songs, not as much jamming, you know, a lot of repeats and a lot of standard versions, you know, but this show kind of stands out because it's in the middle of a massive tour, and in an era where most shows had no jamming, it's pretty much all jamming. I mean, there's barely any moments from this where they really slow down. You know, Golgi is short. Susie is short, of course, but even then, I mean, Susie is fleshed out as much as they can, and it's like, it's very good for the era for that reason, is that there's a lot of jamming in an era where they weren't really doing that kind of thing. So that's why I liked it so much. Well, that's about it. That wraps her up. About does her. In conclusion, you know, very, very solid show. Definitely check out the You Enjoy Myself. Check out the Tweezer for sure. You won't forget it. It's an all-timer for both. Yeah, thank you for taking time out of your day for indulging me. You know, letting me talk about this. And, you know, if you're interested in seeing me talk about more shows, just let me know. I'm probably still going to do it either way. But yeah, thank you very much. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye. What's that? That's dumb.